Welcome to Let's Just Chat. Thank you so much for joining me again on my channel. This is a place where I share some tips and tricks and strategies about personal finance, some of these things that have worked for me, some of these things that I keep using and have shown amazing results, and some of these things where I believe will be a great tool for you should you consider to incorporate it in your personal finance. So let's just get started. Okay, so Let's Just Chat, we talk about personal finance. We also talk about being an adult, being a black woman, being an African woman or man or person. We also talk about relationships and how to look at it a different way and just share those thoughts. So most of these videos will be me just sharing my thoughts and how I'm maneuvering things, but mostly how I'm also figuring things out. And so I hope you stay and you enjoy and you find this very beneficial. So at Let's Just Chat, we have something called Being a Clue. Being a Clue is an acronym. The C stands for you come and you sit. The L is listen with intent, right? And the U is understand and acknowledge. And the E stands for engage/execute with empathy. Right, so you're a walking clue. You do this with yourself, you do this on this platform, you do this with other people, and it's just a lifestyle, right? So that's what we do here. And so without further ado, we'll get started on today's video. Today's video, I'll be talking about 2023 goals and how I set mine and how I plan to achieve mine and how you can do the same. I'll break it up into 4 or 5 different parts, and we'll walk you through an example, right, using my goals. So it was going to be more of a teaching video. So let's get started. So part 1 is setting your goals. I write down my goals. You have to write down your goals. It just won't happen if you don't write it down. Write it down and make it plain. That is how goals start to manifest, because you're giving it life. You are introducing it to the world. You're introducing it to yourself by seeing it written down on paper. So write down your goals. In this example, using my examples, I would like to save for 4 things: travel, a home down payment, investing, and debt repayment. I would like to pay off my braces. But we are not going to focus on all 4. We're just going to take one of them and use it as an example of how I set up that goal and how I plan to achieve it. So part 1 is write down your goal. We just shared that. So we will be focusing on the travel goal, right? So I plan to travel next year or even the year after that. But the point is, I want to save $3,000 for this travel. I would like to travel in October. All of this is made up as an example, but so follow me here. We are going to travel to Ghana to see my grandmother in October, and we need $3,000 to do this thing. All right. So part 2 is answering these 4 to 5 questions. What am I saving for and why? In this scenario, I'm saving to travel to Ghana to see my grandmother. What is the goal amount? We've mentioned that we need $3,000. When do we need it by? And this is where it gets tricky, because I'll be traveling. I need all the money by October 20th as the travel date, but I do need to purchase my ticket by June 27th so I can make it to that October trip. So you always have to think a little bit deeper when it comes to specific goals. You can't just use the same method for all your goals because they are very different. But in this example, I'm traveling in October. I need to save $3,000 and I need to purchase my ticket in June before I go. All right. And the other question is, how am I getting to the finish line? How am I going to save this $3,000? And the last question is, where am I going to save this money? So that is part 2, answering these 5 questions. Part 3, how am I getting to the finish line? Right? We've talked about your goals. We wrote it down. We've talked about answering the 5 questions, part 2. Part 3 is, how am I getting to this finish line? So let's get into it. We are going to take the goal amount, which is $3,000, and we are going to divide it by when we need it by. We need it by October, and I calculated it is about 10 months, right? So I'm going to divide this $3,000 by the number of months I need the goal to be fulfilled by. In this case, it's 10 months. So 3,000 divided by 10, right? It's going to tell me, if you put in the calculator, it's $300 a month. So I need to save $300 a month to be able to get to my goal of $3,000 by October. Now, we're not done yet. Now that I have my $300 a month, it's like, how am I going to get to this amount of money? You now take this $300 that we just got and you divide that money by the number of times you get paid. Are you with me? You take the $300, you divide it by the number of times you get paid. So if you get paid twice a month, you divide the $300 by 2. If you get paid every week, and there are 4 weeks in a month typically, you divide the $300 by 4. And that's how much you're supposed to be saving every week or every month or every paycheck, right? And if you get paid monthly, then that is all you need to do. And when you get that monthly check, you take $300 and you put it in a place where you can get to your money easily. All right. Now, so let me back up. We took the $3,000, we divided it by the number of months we need the goal to be ready by, and in this case, it's 10 months. $3,000 into 10 months, or whichever way around, the answer is $300. So you take your $300 and you further divide that 300 into the number of times you get paid, right? So if that's the number, if you get paid twice a month, then you divide the $300 into 2. If you get paid 4 times a month, you divide the $300 into 4. All right, so that's what we're doing. And when you're done, you put that money where you think you'll be able to get it. So that is part number 4, right? So where can you save your money? You can save your money in so many places. A high yield savings account. You can save it in your under your mattress, under your pillow. You can save it in an envelope, in your piggy bank. There's so many places. The places I love to save my money and that I have been able to easily access is a high yield savings account, because the goal is super short term. I will not be putting it in an index fund or in a CD or anything like that. So some of my favorite places, and I use these banks, and I have accounts with these banks. Synchrony is really good. Yoda is good. Capital One, Alliance, SoFi. If you want to give all of those a try, I'll give you the links below, and you can check them out. So when you're done, you are done. That's pretty much it. It's simple, right? So you can do it too, and I hope that you give it a shot. If at any point you get confused or you need help or you need me to reiterate, feel free to comment below, and I'll be more than happy to answer that and clarify that for you as well. So I hope this video was very helpful. Feel free to share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.